It's a pleasure once again to have you this evening on this special edition of The Link. Why am I calling it special? This is Mental Health Month, the month of May. And we thought, how can we let the month go as on The Link without providing information that you can use in as far as your mental health is concerned? And we are speaking about mental health at work or in the working environment. And my guest tonight is Ms. Susan Tashovia, who is a counseling psychologist with Rapport Counseling Limited. Susan, welcome.
Thank you so much, Samuel.
Very good. Tonight we're speaking about anxiety. People think that when they are feeling stressed, then that's anxiety. Susan, tell us, is there a difference between anxiety and stress?
Yes, please. Thank you so much once again. This is Mental Health Awareness Month,
yes.
And I'm glad you've invited us as mental health practitioners to talk about mental health. Yes, mental health has become a challenge in our country, and everywhere we go we hear it's a mental health issue when someone has experienced something that is out of the ordinary or the unusual behaviors. And so back to your question, when we talk about stress and anxiety, there's a difference, though they are all mental experiences that one goes through. When we talk about stress, this is a disruption someone gets in a situation or an activity they are doing or a subject. And then when we talk about anxiety, these are feelings of worry, unease, nervousness that are caused by an uncertain situation that someone is going through. So the difference is just small, only that the relationship is what it affects. It affects your mental well-being. And yeah, that's what we are talking about. We are looking at it this month. We are looking at mental health at the workplace. Mental health at the workplace has been a silent aspect that has not been thought of and talked about because of the misconceptions that around mental health. When we talk about mental health, people are running away. They are saying we are not mad. Mental health does not mean someone is mad. We are all candidates of challenges of mental health. You, myself, it doesn't know the status or the positions. We are all candidates and we experience anxiety in different ways or mental challenges that come in different forms.
All right. Now let's zoom in to the workplace. I mean, there can be other scenarios, but let's focus on the workplace. This being the link. How does anxiety manifest itself in the working environment? What are the common manifestations of anxiety where we work?
Well, there are different ways in which anxiety manifests, and this varies from person to person because what you experience may not necessarily be the same thing I am experiencing, but it affects me the same way you feel.
Absolutely.
Some people at the workplace, the common challenge we have identified that causes anxiety is financial challenges.
Issues of money.
Issues of money. We all know that there has been an interruption in our economy with the pandemic that hit the whole world, but we are focusing now at our own home or at the workplace within our country. And those are some of the challenges that are coming up. You find someone's income has not reduced or increased, but that it can no longer meet their needs.
The demands.
The demands have increased or they have not increased, but they can no longer manage the standard or the minimum they used to.
Cost of living.
And that has stressed many people. Now, when we talk about stress, we all have levels of stress because what is mental health? We say mental health is a state of well-being where an individual is able to manage the normal stresses of life and be able to be productive and contribute positively to their communities, which means stress is normal. But these days, stress has progressed from the normal to the extremes.
To anxiety.
I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be nice so that I don't scare away people.
Okay.
But it keeps progressing, and that's how mental health challenges come in.
Yeah.
It starts with the daily things that we go through, and things have not changed, and they are not going to change. But how do you manage the situation that you do not get into anxiety or depression or any other mental health challenges?
And we're going to get there before, in just a second. So one of the issues you identified is money. Do we have any other stressor or cause of anxiety at work?
Oh yes. Other issues, I'll just highlight them. Lack of promotions. Challenges come in when someone has been doing the same role or job for the last 15 years, and then you see other new people coming in
above your head.
You know, they are progressing, they are being promoted, and you wonder what's wrong with me. And that has caused many people to, you know, feel bad about themselves, stress them. They have lost interest in the kind of work they are doing. So you find people are actually present at work, but not present, which we call presentism. That I just show up, but I am not there. Some are running away from work, running away in terms of being absent. Due to the finances I talked about, someone is running away from maybe money lenders who are coming to get their money from them, or the loan people you have visited. And all that have caused very high levels of anxiety. And that's why it is very timely that actually you've given us an opportunity like this to talk about mental health challenges, especially anxiety.
Okay, Susan. And there could be more. Because of time, we cannot even mention more. But if I'm anxious, how do I know? How might I know that, I'm anxious? People are maybe wondering, I'm just stressed. Kumbe, they are anxious.
Okay.
How do I know I'm anxious?
There are several things we look at, the signs, because we cannot clinically say this one, you go for a physical test and find this has anxiety or not. So some of the things we use to diagnose anxiety, for example, signs of tiredness, signs of nervousness, worrying all the time, sweating. Some people sweat.
Too much sweating.
Oh yeah, palpitations. You find someone is really uneasy. We also have panics. Some people get panics. However, you need to note that not everyone experiences the same symptoms. It varies from person to person. But those are some of the signs you can tell that there must be something that is not going on right. Things
like palpitation, just go over some of those things. Palpitation, I am fond of breathing, my heart is beating so hard.
Rapidly, yes. And we call that hyperventilation.
Yes, and I am not sick, but now all of a sudden I'm...
Oh yeah, and you see the moment you start feeling those feelings unnoticed, because first of all, people are going through them and they don't understand that they actually have those challenges. When we talk about mental health, people don't know what it is, and so they keep progressing and progressing. Then the attacks come in, panic attacks. You know, someone has called you, you don't even know what they are going to tell you, but your heart is beating.
The phone is scaring you.
That is enough to cause panic, because of the uncertainty that someone is feeling and thinking and worried about. Also, another thing is change in behavior. Change in behavior. You find someone who has been maybe a respectful person, they are no longer respectful. What is going on?
They are rude.
They are rude. They are, you know, they are quarrelsome, irritable. You know, those are some of the signs. So once you notice some of these signs, it is an indicator that there must be something that is going wrong with your mental well-being. Yeah, before we take the last question, viewers, you see, Susan is emphasizing mental health is not, when you hear the word mental, you think brain. It's about the brain actually, but it's not entirely about madness. I want to repeat that. It's about all
many other things, like only today we're dealing with the anxiety. Susan, let me come back to you in the final question. How best can I cope
with anxiety?
I know we can't exhaust the whole, but you tell us a few things I can use to cope with this anxiety.
Oh, well, there are very many ways one can cope with this challenge.
Okay.
We want to encourage people to find one trusted person whom you can share with openly, because one of the reasons why people are breaking down, it's because they have no one they can trust with their secrets, with their challenges. Even if you're my brother, I will tell you, and maybe you're going to talk about it. And then the next time I hear my mother or father calling me, and yet I needed to keep it a secret, depending on whatever challenge. So we encourage people to find someone they can confide in, whom they can talk to. And when you talk to that person, he or she may be able to identify what the challenge is and lead you or give you advice on where to go for help or what you can do that can help you survive the situation. We encourage people to keep active. Do not cut yourself from your social networks, for instance. Keep in touch. Exercise. Stay healthy, exercise. We also have some techniques that we encourage, like the breathing techniques. There are various ways you can do that. Of course, people do not know how to do that, and that's why we are saying professional help is available. Do not struggle alone. Seek help. Seeking help is a sign of strength. So when you come to the professionals, then they can guide you on the various ways you can do that. We also encourage people to check their diet, especially when they are going through those challenges, because what you develop may eventually transform into the physical illness.
Thank you very much, Susan. I'm itching to continue, but the time has just run out on me. Viewers, for even self-interest, I am mostly a professional counselor, by the way. Even when you see me on the link here, I love mental health issues, and how could we go without giving an opportunity for practitioners like Susan? I can't say and me because I'm not asking the questions so that we can discuss these things. We by no means have exhausted these topics, and if you need assistance, people like Susan in rapport counseling and other professionals are available to help you to manage this animal called anxiety, including other things like depression. We hope we added value to you. We thank Standard Chartered Bank very much for sponsoring this show. That was the link. Thank you for joining us tonight.